Hey, yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording, it is 6:39 p.m., March 15th, 2026. But the upload day and time is actually March 16th, 3/16. Oh, hell yeah. Now, let me slow this down. 4 p.m., 2026. And this video I wanted to do since I got this report yesterday. You know what I mean? Yesterday, basically, today, yesterday, which is Sunday, which is today of this recording. I got a lot of shit to say about this report because, it seemed like people like, Sean Ross Fag and, Dave Meltzer's bitch ass. Like they love thinking that these fans are fucking stupid. You know what I mean? They love thinking that these fans are brain dead and everything else, right? So when you state the obvious, right, what they want to do is they want to take the obvious, right, and they want to make a story out of it. They want to make a story out of it just to say that we take credit for a story that's already been said. Like that's bitch shit, or not even a story that's been said, but the shit that fans already know. You know what I mean? But so they feel what they want to do, especially this faggot motherfucker Sean Ross Sapp, is he wants to take credit for anything that he wants to be the one to say, well, I said what people were thinking. Nigga, suck my dick. Suck my dick. And this I wanted to talk about because this shit that I'm about to mention is fucking mind blowing. So Danhausen, Danhausen was on this Instagram live. This was, I believe, 2 days after he made his debut at Elimination Chamber, right? On IG Live, right? He was talking about it. And he mentioned something very interesting, right? He mentioned how, AEW, ghosted him. They ghosted him. You know what I mean? They extended his deal and they ghosted him, right? Until, his deal was over. Right? So, Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp, he addressed what Danhausen said, right? And, he said, this could discourage free agents from signing with AEW, right? He said, this way he said, okay, he said, Sean Ross Sapp addressed rather situations like Danhausen could discourage free agents, noting that AEW has promoted certain staff members into talent-facing roles due to past issues. Sapp added that the company would benefit from more structure in talent relations, especially regarding contract adjustments and constant communication. So, matter of fact, let me tell you what Danhausen said. Danhausen previously asked AEW not to extend his deal if he wasn't being used, but the company added time anyway before ultimately letting him walk. He later signed a multi-year contract with WWE and debuted at Elimination Chamber in 2026, where he now appears regularly on Raw and SmackDown. So this basically, has kind of make me ask the question, right? With AEW, ghosting people, right? Who else they're ghosting? You can sense who else they're ghosting. Okay? You can feel the others who they just ghost, okay? Where's Camille? They ghost Camille. They ghost her. They clearly ghost Camille. Okay? They ghost Britt Baker. Right? They ghost the shit out of Britt Baker. There's no communication there between AEW and Britt Baker. There's none. And then the ultimate one. Chris Jericho. For all the talk that, about his contract and everything else, this report, everything that you start to see on TV, right? With certain storylines and with certain teams being paired up, every single time you see that the person is distancing themselves more and more and more. Like I said, Big Bill and Brian Keith are now, they're now a team called Paid in Full, right? In Ring of Honor. right? The learning tree is done. There is no more learning tree. Okay? Which tells me Chris Jericho is done with AEW, right? So I'm absolutely certain that he's ghost. That AEW's ghosted him. I'm sure they ghosted him. They ghosted Britt Baker, and they ghosted other people. There's other people they ghosted. Anna Jay. And this is definitely going to discourage people from signing with AEW. Because let's say I sign with AEW. Okay? Let's say I sign a deal to come in, right? Let's say I signed a 3-year deal, right? After the 3 years, when I want to go to WWE or when I'm completely done with the company, right? These motherfuckers add time. They add a lot of time. Basically, they keep me locked down. These motherfuckers keep me locked down. No communication whatsoever. None. If Danhausen said that they ghosted him with no communication, nothing, not a fucking word, right? Imagine what else they're doing with other people. I'm pretty sure Keith Lee is ghost. I'm sure they ghosted the fuck out of Keith Lee. I'm absolutely sure. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is dangerous for people to sign with this company. Why? Because they're not going to be used. They're not being fucking used. You know what I'm saying? They're not being fucking used. You kidding me? No, I mean, like, listen, Tony Khan and Fightful and Wrestling Observer, they can all tell you one thing, right? But the old saying that's still fresh even today, action speaks louder than words. Okay? Action speaks louder than words. And if you don't think that, that Tony Khan is ghosting all these other talents that's there, right? They're telling talent relations, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. They don't want to sign, they don't want to, they don't want to be part of what we're doing. Fuck them. Let them go. Let them go. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a tack on time, to their contracts. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. And we leave them out in the dust. Basically, that's what they're doing. I remember that interview with Danhausen about a few weeks ago, right? And he said he tried to call and such, and they just gave him weird responses, right? Again, that's a dangerous thing to do when you are negotiating deals with this fucking company. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. You know what I mean? It's fucking dangerous. And again, this is another thing that they do, right? When you do leave, right? When you do leave, they always got something fucked up to say. They always got something fucked up to say. Always. Always. Like they always got some bullshit to say to make you look bad on the way out. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. You know what I mean? Like I said, once Danhausen said that, and again, there's been other talent that said that. Ethan Page said that. Right? Ethan Page has been saying all that shit. Right? There's been a lot of people that's been talking, B. There's been a lot of people that's been talking. And you think this is just one person. Come on. Come on. I feel bad for, who I feel bad for? Mostly TNA talent. Because, yeah, you took the money, right? But are they really going to use you like that? Are they? I mean, are they? Yes or no? I'm absolutely sure that they're, ghosting Jay White. They're ghosting the fuck out of Jay White. You know what I'm saying? Like this, but this is what you signed up for, right? This is exactly what you signed up for. And you know what? Let me also mention something else too, right? I'm going to mention this as well. Again, it's funny how they released Danhausen, right? And it's funny how people were talking shit about Danhausen. Oh, Danhausen doesn't fit WWE. Oh, blah, 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 blah. He goes into WWE, right? And he's the biggest merch seller in that fucking company right now, hands down. And he's being used on a prominent level. Now, I mean, he's being used how he should be. You know what I'm saying? He's making, WWE's making people look real fucking stupid with Danhausen. Really, really fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, he's the biggest merch seller in that entire fucking company right now, right? And he hasn't even wrestled a match yet. Like I said, he's probably going to wrestle sporadically, right? But the fact that a non-active WWE contractor superstar is your biggest merch seller out there, and you had this motherfucker on the shelf for a year, where he wanted to be put on TV. Come on, B. Come on, man. Which tells me Ricky Starks was Ghost, right? Ricky Starks was Ghost. I'm pretty sure Wardlow is being Ghost by AEW, right? I mean, what, you're retarded? You people are fucking retarded or something, man? The fuck, you don't see that? How the fuck you motherfuckers don't see what's going on with AEW? Huh? This is how they do their talents, right? This is how they do their talents. So they basically leave you in Guantanamo Bay, right? In Guantanamo Bay, they just put you there, you know what I'm saying? And they just leave you there to rot until your time is up. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Danhausen and Fightful, acknowledge this report tells me that this is true. And you know what? As I'm talking to you more, I'm absolutely sure that somebody from Tony Khan's talent relations team, right, from AEW's talent relations team, told Sean Ross Sapp to put this thing out there. That's bitch shit. I mean, that's a bitch move. But hey, listen, you want to sign with All Elite Wrestling? Be my guest. Now, I mean, be my guest, because when you're no longer used, right? And there's going to be a lot of people who not only is no longer used, I'm absolutely sure there's going to be people released. Or there's going to be people leaving AEW probably by WrestleMania time. Probably. Right? That WWE's going to foam out the mouth to pick up. I don't know, B. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? I will be coming with another video tonight, so I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.